welcome to the H2O podcast. To my left here is this bitch named Aiden.
Yeah.
Okay, now to my right is our leader named Eric.
Sorry, I was clearing my throat before we started. You know, I don't want to have a puffy throat when we're recording.
Okay.
No, my
We
throat's
should do
actually
some
worse.
vocal exercises while we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Get some vocal exercises in.
Ray.
God, I want to kill all of you.
Did we do top comment? Was top comment said?
No,
No,
Andrew
top
doesn't know how to
comment
talk.
wasn't said.
All right,
No, it wasn't
no.
Andrew. You had
And
one
no,
job.
good.
Andrew,
No,
you
I
had one job.
I was gonna say it, but then Eric interrupted me.
Andrew, you
with,
had
"Let me do
one
some
job."
vocal exercise before I was gonna say it. I was gonna say it, but then
Oh, really?
somebody
Yeah.
cut me off.
You were gonna say it. You definitely
Yeah.
I was.
were. Eric, you have a legal chance now to own both of his testicles.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
to
Please
explain that, I own
to
Andrew's
explain
testicle.
that.
That's all you need to know. I called my lawyer, and now I know I own Andrew's testicles. I called my lawyer about an Aiden thing, but the issue went unresolved because Aiden didn't take the ruling. He just fought the lawyer, and then I just ended the thing.
No, listen. I am under the protection of the Republic of Cuba.
See, you didn't say that
Can't
until
get
you
to
had a
under American
ruling. You
jurisdiction.
didn't say that until you had a ruling.
You probably should have said that during the.
Yeah, I should have been like, hey, by the way, I just want to let it be known I have protection
No,
of
it's like a twist at the end of a good story.
No, that's not how it works.
You know
not
what?
in a
It's
court of
a
law.
twist at the end of a good story.
Not in the court of law.
Somebody
where
has
my
a-
lawyer happens to
now
also
it
be the
makes
judge,
sense. No.
jury, and executioner.
Yeah, but listen, you can't have a lawyer who's the judge, jury, and executioner.
Well, I do.
Wait, yes, you can. My bad. My bad.
My bad. I
I
apologize.
do. It's already happened. You just have to accept the fact that that's the case.
I'm fine with that.
When did we have the session where we talked about my testicle?
That was not a podcast episode.
I know, but
Oh, just in general? I have I
Yeah.
have no idea. We just talked about it. We just had a I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
I don't remember the last time that I had two testicles.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, things happen.
Well,
things change.
happen.
People
Had to go
change.
through with a little something.
Yeah, things just happen. Sometimes, you
Sometimes
want a
you just
testicle,
lose
and
it.
sometimes you don't.
You know
Sometimes
what?
you just lose those things.
Yeah.
Let's make an estimate. Who do you think's gonna have to get brought to trial next about something?
Probably Noah. Probably NoUgSmash on YouTube.com.
What
Definitely Noah Ugg
That's a
Smash.
shout out right there. Everybody go check him out.
Yeah, well, not only go check him out, everybody go harass him to come on the podcast.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you know him physically, just be like, yo, bro, push him to the floor and be like, it would be such a Chad thing of you to do if you went on the podcast.
Pin him down and
fucking beat
open
his
his
ass.
mouth, spit in it, and then say, "Come on the H2O podcast."
Yes, that is exactly what you need to do. No
yeah,
questions
there's-
asked.
Yeah, don't do anything else.
When he's
Yeah,
like,
there's
no,
actually-
be like, I wasn't asking.
There's a couple people we want on the H2O podcast. We want Will
There
Smith
are-
on here.
Yeah,
Can we
that,
please
that's
get
one.
Will Smith on the H2O podcast.
Then we can talk about entanglement
Yeah, I'd
for
also
like an hour straight.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd also like to cordially invite the entirety of the official podcast. Just all of them. Jackson, Andrew, Charlie, Kaya.
Not
All
the
of
one.
them. Yeah, all of them. Just get all of them all on the podcast.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Who else? I'd like to get. And then the next thing is I want all of us to go on the official podcast. All at once.
Well,
All
it's
at
probably
once.
gonna be a while.
And then
If
I'm gonna have to ask to I want Fitz on the podcast just to ask him why.
yeah,
just to ask him why did he do that. Then Carson to give him a hug and a kiss, and then Schlatt.
Carson King, give him a hug
Yeah,
and a kiss.
yeah.
Jebediah
Tell him
Schlatt,
everything.
I can make some deals with him.
Yeah, I can make some deal. I want to talk about deals in business with my main man Jebediah Schlatt. Dream.
Jebediah.
PewDiePie, obviously.
Okay.
Technoblade. I like Technoblade.
Wait. Can I just interject real quick?
Yeah.
I'm playing on a
Andrew's
personal
father.
No.
Yeah, Andrew's
I'm
dad.
playing on a personal Minecraft server, okay? And I'm in a mine, and I literally just came across, like, 2 emerald ore, like, 5 blocks across from each other.
You know, that's
Wow, that's so
fantastic,
impressive,
Andrew.
bro.
Anyway, so next up, we need to talk about. Listen, I'm not an asshole, alright? I'm a nice guy. Anyway, I actually do have a question for this
Andrew's
episode.
crying.
Yeah, she's just broken down into tears. I have a question.
He's
I've had this question for a while. So
What's
we're
the
all
question?
pretty. We all dabble in comic books. We all dabble
Yeah.
in DC comics.
Uh-huh,
I'm pretty sure we all share a similar choice of favorite superhero. Maybe not Aiden. I actually have never asked who. Aiden, who's your favorite superhero? Let's get that out of the way. Who's your favorite superhero, and then who's your favorite DC superhero?
Superman.
Superman's your favorite.
You,
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That is a
I-
fair choice.
but like,
So
I feel
Batman
like,
is a close second.
I
Batman's-
feel like Superman, in my opinion, is like too overpowered.
you should
be-
like actually read a Superman comic.
It's Superman.
But you're right, Andrew. I know for a fact you haven't read a Superman comic.
Listen,
is the
I
thing.
haven't. You're
I don't-
right.
Because the question for Superman is kind of like
Listen,
Batman.
the only
Where the question for Superman isn't is he gonna defeat the bad guy? It's is he okay to be on the planet and shit? And like can he fit into being a hero?
is it safe for him to continue being on the planet?
Yeah,
and shit?
well, not only that, like his
Oh my
struggle with
God.
being human,
Well-
because he's an alien trying to be human. So like that's the interesting part of his character is like, does he belong on Earth?
Yeah, he's my favorite for all of those reasons. One of the other reasons I like him is because he knows he's that powerful. Like
he
he's like,
doesn't
I
use
know
his
I'm this
power for
powerful, so I need
bad.
to be responsible. And he's
Yeah.
like, he understands Batman's.
Mhm.
Like he understands Batman's needs for contingent plans. He's like, I'm responsible
Oh,
because
yeah,
I know that
I wanna-
the world would.
I wanna-
If I were to turn against the world,
Yeah.
it would be fucking over.
I probably should let it
So-
be known. Andrew's favorite superhero, I think, is Nightwing, so he has a large bias towards Batman. And my favorite superhero is Batman. So if they never goes on a rant about Superman ever again, and he brings up Batman, it's because at some point he knows I will. So he just needs to get that out of the way.
I'm just bringing up the inevitable.
Yeah, he's just getting it out of the way before it becomes an
Yeah,
issue.
Superman's just my guy.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, we're gonna get on to the question now. This was the question I actually had. Andrew, wait, hold on. Before I assumed Andrew's favorite superhero because I know him so well, but that's rude. Who is your actual favorite superhero, Andrew?
Well, a question: do the Robins count as a superhero? Yeah.
Maybe post being Robin, but not
Post being
Robin's a
Robin?
sidekick.
Okay.
But like,
Alright, then my favorite superhero would be Batman, but then right behind him would be Nightwing.
oh yeah, that makes sense. I was just assumed because you're a big fan of Nightwing. He's a big Nightwing guy.
I am a big fan of Nightwing.
Yeah. And then mine's obviously Batman, which leads us into the next question.
Nice.
Did the Wayne family own slaves?
Dude, I thought it was Green Lantern.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did the Green Lantern family own slaves? No, but did Bruce Wayne did Bruce Wayne's great
It's okay,
grandparents
you can
own
get it out.
slaves? No, I was thinking about actually using like Solomon Wayne, but I realized the time didn't really match up there, so I just kind of just rethought it. You dick. Anyway.
Here's
so
the question we need to ask. If that's the question, we need to ask where and when. Like, does his family immigrate to the United States after slavery was abolished?
So I always assumed that he
Or-
didn't own slaves because Gotham is, for anybody who doesn't know, Gotham is in New Jersey. So, and that New Jersey is like one of the northern states. So during the Civil War, they would have actually been like the people who were trying to free slaves. But I went on a podcast, somebody else's podcast called Come Town, which really makes me regret not having that to be the podcast name, since literally all of our group chats have the word "come" in it somehow.
You weren't supposed to tell them about that.
Yeah, so we have the group chat they aren't in. My favorite group chat that they aren't in is the Transatlantic Cum Express, and then after the Transatlantic Cum Express, it was the Cum Clan cult. It was originally the Cum Clan, and then we renamed it to the Cum Clan cult because then we could have it all be the same letter, which makes it easier.
Oh, we'd be the CCC.
Yeah.
It was originally, wasn't it? What fuck was it, like Star Wars only chat or something?
Yeah, because it was the group chat. It was when we were like only playing Battlefront, and so we were all
only play Battlefront anymore.
No, we don't. But at the time, that was like all we could play because Noah owns a grand total of 2 games. So
you're not wrong.
We love you, Noah. I know you're listening, and I'm gonna say it anyway. You own a grand total of 2.5 games. So
the top comment for next episode is gonna be "fuck you."
Yeah, it's gonna be like "fuck you, I hate you," because Noah's like,
I hate all of you.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, man, I despise it. This is why I won't come on the podcast. We're all gonna feel really bad, but we're not gonna take it back.
We love you, Noah. Not really, but we're just saying that.
Yeah. But seriously, do you guys think in your heart the Wayne family owned slaves at some point? Like even like a small descendants of them, like
yes.
is that how they got their wealth?
Yes.
You think so, Andrew?
Yes. I have no evidence, but yes.
I'm unsure.
You're unsure?
If they're immigrants from anywhere before the 1800s, then probably they did. But if they came after the 1800s, then probably not.
See, here the thing is from what I know about, so I'm gonna go into my Batman history a little bit and half answer the question. So the reason this question exists is because there's a part in Batman Begins where they go, basically the Batcave. It was an old part of what the Wayne family would use to transport freed slaves. It was a part of the Underground Railroad in that universe. So that brings up the question, is it like was it part of the Underground Railroad, or is that like a false like narrative that was used for actual slaves? That's kind of the question. And if you go into Wayne history, the Waynes were a huge part in like building up Gotham. So that means that Gotham, like the citizens or the Wayne family has large ties going back to Gotham. And once Gotham is in the north, they would have been part of the Union, because I'm pretty sure New Jersey was in the Union. They wouldn't, if they did own slaves, maybe like pre-1700s, it wouldn't have been for very long. But it easily could have been a way that they, so like during the Civil War, I don't think they were a part of the slave owners, but they probably owned slaves somewhere before the Revolutionary War. Because, like, how did they get the money to almost build up an entire town?
True.
Like, yeah. Probably some really...
Gold doubloons from pirates.
Yes.
That could be true. Maybe the Wayne family were just a bunch of pirates.
That actually sounds kind of cool if you think about it.
Maybe they were sailing the seven seas.
Maybe they were just blunderers.
Hey, DC, if you're listening to this...
If you're listening to this...
That'd be a cool part of Wayne family history.
Like, fix this.
Yeah.
Fix this.
Fix it, guys. Come on. Step it up.
We want to know.
I honestly don't care, but it'd be interesting.
It would be there's just an entire story arc where Batman wants to commit suicide because he figures out his parent, his great grandpappy owned a slave or two. I wouldn't put it past Bruce's family problems, honestly.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound too far-fetched if you ask me.
Yeah, I kind of feel that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Batman comics, or just Batman comic in general?
I think I'm gonna broaden that question to a favorite superhero comic, because I think all superheroes have pretty like Fantastic Four is fucking awesome. I'm still gonna say a Batman comic because he's my favorite superhero, but favorite comic of all time kind of broadens it so we can say things like team up events like Flashpoint and stuff.
Yeah.
or like Civil. I know a lot of people like Civil War.
Mhm.
So yeah, what is everybody's favorite comic?
I'm gonna go super fucking generic and say Death in the Family, but like
Death in the Family or Death of the Family?
Death in the Family.
Okay, all right. Now that brings up the
I
question: like '80s Death in the Family or like 2005 when he comes back as Red Hood? Because there's a lot of Red Hood became quite a guy.
the older one.
Okay, so just the Jason
Yeah.
Todd's dead. I can see that. Death in the Family is a pretty good comic. It also it was the kind of the opening to superhero or comics to become darker after the approval code thing.
Comic is also very generic. I love the Injustice series, or like the Injustice
Oh,
comics.
ooh.
Injustice.
Oh,
The most basic comic series of all time.
I love Injustice, bro.
I was actually going to talk about how I thought Injustice was done poorly. Like at some point in this podcast, now I feel bad.
I love Injustice. No,
What
you're
do you
good,
think
Chief.
about-
I like the idea of it is like, what if Superman did use his powers for evil, but it just went on for too long,
Kinda
and then-
did. I can
and then-
agree with that. But
and then like and then the game kind of messed it up because the game was like, no, we're just gonna continue the last one and and it's not gonna make any sense.
make more.
Yeah.
What,
So
what do you guys
Injustice
think about
2
the game?
It's a pretty good
Injustice
fighting
1
game.
or
Well,
Injustice
there's
2?
Let's start off with 1. What do you guys think about 1?
I think 1 was really generic.
Yeah, I think it's a really good fighting game, but it doesn't tell a story that well.
Yeah.
I hated the story mode in both of them.
I liked the story in Injustice 1 a bit more because I liked the fact that you had like the only person that could stop Superman was himself in an alternate. I thought that was cool. Like that was cool. And then Injustice 2, and people were like, "Oh, how are they going to do Injustice 2? Are they going to tell more of the comic, or are they gonna like continue off of like the comic's going to stop and they're going to continue the comic story?" Nah, they just kind of did their own shit, and it didn't really
They
make
kinda
much
just said-
sense. They kind of just said, "Aight, cool." Anyway,
Alright, awesome. Time
They
to
said
do our own
this.
shit.
they looked at it, they're like, "Nah."
Alright then,
After
that's
they
mine.
published the game, there's a comic.
Yeah, they
There's a comic?
that's like the main thing is the comic series of Injustice. There's like it takes place over like 20 years. It's like people like you don't, and it's really, dude, the comics are so complicated too. Like if any so
Aw.
I'm not going to try to explain too much Batman history for anybody listening who doesn't know basic Batman history. But basically, they kill off a Robin and then bring them back just to kill them off like 8 times. Like that just happens like 6 times over and over again.
And I love it.
And Aiden finds it extremely entertaining.
I love it.
I think Aiden just likes. I think Aiden just low key likes to watch Robins die.
Oh yeah, of course. That's
Because you watch
exactly right.
Tim Drake die twice. You watch Dick die twice. You watch Jason die once and then come back again and then die technically, but he's still alive.
I can watch Damien die out there.
No, Damien doesn't die.
I love Damien. I love Damien.
Out! It's fucking garbage.
What
I love
Damien? Are we
Damien.
talking about
I don't like
animated
Damien.
Damien, or are we talking like comic Damien?
Oh, I hate
And-
comic Damien. I love animated Damien.
Oh, see, I hate animated Damien, but I can deal with comic Damien. Because because at least recent comic Damien, like when Damien was first introduced, like as of recently, I couldn't stand him, but over time I've gotten used to his existence, I guess.
Just kind
I
of got
can-
used to.
See, he's improved a lot, but he's still annoying as hell. He's like because he has like the sass of Alfred, but none of the fun part of Alfred's sass. So it's just annoying.
Fair.
Yeah. But I do
The
like.
animated series Alfred is delicious.
I love Alfred and anything.
It's delicious.
The only Alfred I don't like is Antifa, Gotham High Alfred. Do you guys know what happened with Gotham High?
No.
Gotham
Part of
High.
me,
You remember?
part
Do you know
of me
Gotham
doesn't
High?
want to know.
Do you know what Gotham High is, Aiden?
No.
So
I
Gotham
wanted to
High,
know.
Gotham High is a book made by this weird author, and basically the
Arthur.
point of it, the point of Gotham High, was just they're in high school, and they're nothing like their original characters.
Okay, can we
Fair.
move on to another part of the podcast?
Like, it's awful.
I don't want to hear about
I
that.
love that.
My
I
fa-
love that.
My favorite headline that went along for a while was Antifa Joker, and it was
Antifa Joker.
Antifa Joker has orgy with Bruce Wayne and Catwoman in Gotham High.
Oh, God.
Or, I'm sorry, pansexual orgy.
I love that.
And that was like the main thing everyone made fun of with Gotham High is, oh, okay, so it's the orgy Batman book. Except they're all teenagers, so it's basically just weird.
It's just really weird. It's like, what?
Oh, and Alfred's a gay Asian man now?
What? No, don't mess with Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred's and then Bruce Wayne's also a gay Asian man. like, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, and they're just in high school, and that's literally it. Like, there isn't like Bruce Wayne isn't Batman. Joker's like kind of joke. He's Antifa, so he just wears makeup and he's like, "This is who I am."
This is who I am.
And I don't even know what they did with Catwoman. I don't want to know what they did with Catwoman. Yeah, so that's
love
Gotham
that.
High, and everybody ignores it and just pretend it doesn't exist. And
It
they
shouldn't
got
exist.
and they
I
got like
could've
no
got-
sales.
I could have gone my whole life without knowing that existed, and that would have been perfectly fine.
Listen, man, it had to happen.
It happened.
I don't even know who they gave the license to, like the Batman, like I don't think it even got published actually. I think it was gonna get published, and then DC like released that there was gonna be a giant. Please, okay, if anybody knows Batman history and like can tell me more about Gotham High, please message me at bio.babies on youtube.com or instagram.com because I'd really love to hear more about this.
I would love to know about
Yeah,
that.
I want to know. That's all I know about it. Is basically they made Alfred and Bruce gay and Asian. They made Joker Antifa. I mean, Joker's kind of already Antifa, except he's
Like,
kind of his
not
own
to the
Antifa.
level.
Yeah, he's his own
own.
Antifa. Not like he just follows an organization. That's my problem with Gotham is they never really told who Joker was until like okay, who here actually finished Gotham? I gotta take a head count. Did you finish Gotham, Aiden?
You.
I'm the only one.
God. Yeah, you.
Fuck. So what they did with Gotham is they had like characters that were like the Joker, but they couldn't actually use the Joker. So they had like two different people be Joker, because they did a lot of evil twin like arcs. So they had one character named Jeremiah, and then they had one named Jerome. And
That's
both are
dumb.
different. Yeah, and both are like Joker. And then Jerome dies, and Jerome like Laffy gasses his brother Jeremiah, and then Jeremiah becomes like Joker, but like and he's like more like Heath Ledger's Joker, where he doesn't really tell many jokes. His entire point is just like, haha, I'm gonna blow things up and cause chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah. And Jerome was like the same way, except he told jokes. And then Jeremiah like gets comatose and ends up in that acid pit. And then in the series finale, he looks really weird and he's like, "Haha, I'm Joker." Hee 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 hee. And then and then like he either dies or he either dies because a batarang hits his head or he's knocked out. And then you just you don't know what happened. Like, did he become Joker? Or is like because they kept saying. None of the characters that are like Joker are Joker. The real Joker's like plotting. It's like, oh, so he's just a copycat.
He's
like,
just trying to be like him.
He's just trying to be like that one guy he saw on television 30 years ago. So yeah, that's Gotham's Joker, and everybody hated it. They just wouldn't use Joker. And the worst part was that they had Cameron Monaghan play him, and he was a really good actor, and he did a great job. They just didn't let him be Joker.
They just said you can't be Joker.
They were like, you get to be his evil twin brother, and you get to be a guy, and both their names start with J, but like you're not the Joker.
You can't be the Joker.
You've lost Joker privileges.
Why would you think about it?
Give me your Joker
Why
privileges
would you even
now.
consider it?
Yeah, like why would you consider doing Joker if you can't legally do?
Like get the rights to Joker.
Yeah, because WB wouldn't give them the rights because they're like, we want people to like not be confused about multiverses. But I think like the modern audiences understand the multiverse at this point. Like they understand that every version of each character isn't like. I mean, if they don't understand that, they can just look it up, and then figure it out for themselves. I don't think they need like to be spoon fed.
Yeah, no, I don't think they need to as well.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Yeah. It's kind of stupid.
God damn it.
Anyway, back to. I know we just went on a really long tangent. I feel like now you guys both told your favorite comics of all time. Mine's probably The Long Halloween. Or maybe Batman Year One. I really like Batman Year One. I like a lot of comics. I like Year One and I like The Long Halloween. I think those are probably my two favorites. What are your thoughts, Aiden?
That's okay.
I know they're not really.
I have no say in the matter.
They're not like groundbreaking comics or anything. I just like them. It's just cool. There's nothing groundbreaking. It's not like I'm choosing like. I don't know if you guys expected me to be like Final Crisis because this. Nah, I just
That's pretty good.
I just like The Long Halloween, man.
It's pretty good.
Me and Aiden, we hung out recently, and all we did was just watch Lover Host. Like,
if you think Dean chose love, choose Dean because I chose host.
Have you seen? Do you know what Lover Host is, Andrew?
I have absolutely no idea.
I'm glad we have these conversations with Andrew because Andrew just feels like we can just exposition for the audience. So
yes, you are the audience.
Yeah, you are the audience, and we can
I am part of the I am part of the audience that can intervene occasionally.
Yeah, every once in a while he'll be like, "Hey." Anyway, so Lover Host, how it works is, there's this guy named Austin, and Austin.
Raj.
His name was Raj, and then he used it like because he wanted to use the name the Raj Schiller for the show. And then he changed it, and then he was like, I don't want to go by Raj Schiller anymore, because number one, it doesn't make any sense, because that's not my name, so it just makes me look like an idiot. So then he changed the show name to the rules of the game, Lover Host, and that makes way more sense. So how Lover Host works is, you got either one guy and a bunch of women, or one woman and a bunch of guys, or sometimes
it's one of those shows.
Or sometimes it's one. Sometimes it's mixed between men and women. Because he used to be called the Raj Schiller and then Raj Schillerette, but after a while they started adding like more people with Lover Host, so that way people could have like it's not just straight, I guess. And so the way Lover Host works is everybody's on, and it's basically just one giant Discord call, and all these men or women are trying to chase this, like basically just trying to like get on a date with this one person. But before the show, they can choose love or host. Love means that you're there for a date, like actually for the person. And then host means you're there for clout, basically. And then if you win the show and you chose host, the rule is all the viewers of Love and Host have to go and check out their stream.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So you have basically a bunch of people, and they either choose love or host, and each round somebody gets each round's like 15 minutes, and they eliminate one people out of like 10 people, and then you have to you're 50% trying to actually like get to know the people, but also 50% like trying to pick love or host, like trying to weed out the people who chose host. Because, like, you win the game if somebody chooses love. and then you might actually go on a date. There's a lot of people that are actually dating because Lover Host. If you guys know the Caterino and Fitz and Carson drama, Carson and Caterino, they got together because of a Lover Host.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Jay
did.
Schlatt and Minx and everybody else, that was a Lover Host. Except it was called I think it was called the Raj Chiller at that time. It wasn't called Lover Host yet when Carson was on.
Interesting.
But, yeah. So we watched a shit ton of Lover Host, specifically any episode that had Carson or Jay Schlatt in it. Fucking hilarious. The one we watched the same one like 8 times. It was because we have
I loved every time we watched
yeah,
it.
every time got better and better. So there's an episode that Jay Schlatt basically edited down recently, where he's fighting for this lovely lady named Minx, and Minx had been on Schlatt's Lover Host a couple months before, and she chose host. Like, he got her down to the finals, and then she chose host. And he was mad about it still. So he basically opens up with, "Hey, Minx, I need you to know, like, no matter what, at the beginning of the show, I chose host. You can keep me on here if you want."
It's even worse. It's even worse, Eric. Eric, you're being too. You're not giving him the full brunt.
No, I'm gonna get into it.
Schlatt is literally like.
No, I'm gonna get into it. Trust me.
No. Let me. Okay.
I'm gonna get into it. I know. I've watched the episode 30 times, Aiden. So he keeps saying
I know, but
throughout
it's like
the show that he chose host, and he's like getting angrier and angrier that he's here because she won't kick him off, and he keeps trying to explain to her that he chose host. So he's like flipping shit, being like, "I chose host. Like, don't pick me because I chose host. You lose if you pick me." And just over time, she just doesn't kick him off until he makes it to the finals, and he's like smashing keyboards all while this is happening, like just destroying like 30 keyboards because he doesn't want to be there. He ate like $50 worth of McDonald's during like the first half, and then the second half is just him suffering because he doesn't want to be there, and then he ate a shit ton of McDonald's. So like, throughout the show, he's getting more and more pissed, and he's like showing less interest. Like Minx has like 8 breakdowns during the show, and he just laughs at her because he chose host. I'll let Aiden explain the finale.
He chose host
because it only gets better from there. I think I explained the broad spectrum pretty well, Aiden. But if you think I left anything out, please let me know.
Hey, Eric.
What's up?
May I ask, where is this? Where can I find
the youtube.com/Jay Schlatt.
Okay, thank you.
To anybody who wants to watch that episode, I will link Jay Schlatt's YouTube in the description. Because it's a good episode.
Okay, awesome. I have yet to watch Jay Schlatt, period.
He's hilarious.
Alright. So, Eric explained it very well. But
bitch.
I don't think he made it how blatantly obvious he made it that Jay Schlatt made it in the beginning that he chose host was in the beginning.
I think I made it pretty
Jay Schlatt
clear.
said, "Listen, no." He just said in the beginning, he's like, "Just so you know, I haven't emotionally recovered from when you hosted me on my Lover Host, so I chose host. I'm only here to fuck around, make a few jokes, and turn this into a YouTube video that'll get like 1 million views." And that's exactly what he said. And she's like, "It's obvious what he actually chose."
Yeah.
And he's like,
like,
"I chose host." And then they continue. And every round, he's like, "I chose host." And Austin asked the question. He's like, "Who do you think would be the worst fit for Minx?" And everybody's like, "Jay Schlatt. He's literally here because he's literally chose host. He's literally said he chose host." And she's like, "It's obvious what he chose." And she keeps eliminating person after person after person that chose love. And he gets to the final round, and there's this one other guy named Dean. He's this ultimate Chad, right? He's like, yep.
Dean's like actually
He
there
gets
for
all the
her.
check marks, right? And like they have these personal dates at the very end where they get like 2 minutes with the person by themselves, And Jay Schlatt's literal like date that he had with her was him lighting the Gwyneth Paltrow candle that says that this smells like my vagina. He lights that, smells it, says, I don't really like the smell that much, and then he says at the very end, he says, if you think Dean chose love, pick Dean because I chose host. And then the date ends, and she kicks Dean off.
Which, by the way,
like,
I want to say,
like,
Dean
it's like,
picked
all right,
love.
let's figure out what Schlatt chose. And Minx is like, it's obvious what he chose.
So I want to make. I want to make it clear. Dean chose love. He got down to the last round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
With one guy who doesn't want to be there, and then a guy who does, like, is actually trying to choose love. And then she kicks off the guy who chose love, and is like, because he obviously chose love. Like, Schlatt's messing with me. He's playing mind games. He wasn't.
He's playing mind games.
He wasn't, for the record. He was not playing mind games. He genuinely chose host, and at the end, she's sitting there all smug, like just sitting there like, I won the game, obviously.
She says, like, Austin's like, let's figure out what Schlatt chose. And Minx is like, it's obvious what he chose.
Yeah, and she's sitting there all smug. She's like, has her arms folded, like with a big grin on her face, like sitting there all smug, and is like, I won. And then he goes, Schlatt chose, sits there for a long time, and Schlatt's just leaning back in his chair. And then he goes, host! And she actually looks genuinely surprised. and then Austin goes, what the fuck were you thinking? He said he chose.
He starts going off on her. He says,
yeah.
He starts going off on her. He says, what the fuck were you thinking?
And then Schlatt, and then he goes, okay, Schlatt, you can talk. And Schlatt's just like, basically repeats what he said, like, way calmer. He's like, I smashed 15 fucking keyboards because I didn't want to be here. I don't know why you chose me.
And then he calls her a dumb broad at the end, and then he says, all right, and then he links his YouTube channel and Twitch channel, and then he says, can we get a level 3 hype train going in the chat real quick?
Yeah, and then the stream ends.
Well, Minx is just crying and having a mental breakdown. He's like, can we have a level 3 hype train going in the chat?
Yeah.
I really want to watch that now.
It's a good episode. It's like, dude, it's great.
The God Jebediah Schlatt.
Yeah,
it's a really good episode.
I want to say, I genuinely invite Schlatt to. I know he probably will never see this and he'll never come on. But like Schlatt, you always have a welcome spot on the invite area.
If he does, dude, we have to instantly ask him what he chose. If he chose lover host.
Because he literally says when he joins, I chose host. I'm here. He says word for word, I'm here
host.
To make a couple of jokes and then turn it into a YouTube video and get like 1 million views. And she goes, I don't believe that.
That's not true. You're playing mind games.
The funniest part is halfway through, she goes like she has Bob 7, which if you know Bob 7 is just a mega simp. Like literally, like, and he doesn't know how to talk to women either. So he says things like he basically claimed a woman wasn't fertile in an episode of
He did. He claimed that woman wasn't fertile, and then insulted her sister and said, "How does it feel to have a sister that's better than you in every way?" In the same episode.
Yeah, and then in the same round, he got eliminated because he told the contestant's sister that, like, why? And then his sister was, and then his sister was, and then Austin asks, "Hey, so like, who do you think is the worst choice for your sister?" And then she literally says, basically everything that is Bob 7. Also the Baba quote. He's like, he wants to have kids, and he has Bob. And then, so basically what ends up happening is the last, like, 4 people on the show are Bob 7, Dean, a guy named Bruce, and then Schlatt.
Bruce dropped him off.
Yeah, Bruce dropped him off, Dean's so cool, and Schlatt. And and literally the entire time, Dean, Bruce, and Schlatt are flirting with each other. And Bob's just simping over her. And she goes, now I get why I'm single, I make the worst decisions. After she says that, she already makes like 8 more bad decisions, but she's like, I make bad decisions, I'm with 3 gay men and the simp. And then she eliminates Bob 7, and then Bruce just says, "Wow, we got 2 Melanin Kings and one guy who doesn't even want to fucking be here." And then in that same round, Bruce gets eliminated, and it's just Dean and Schlatt just sitting there.
Dean and Schlatt just like, yes.
Oh, and don't forget the moment Carson joins, and they just play 8-ball while she has a mental breakdown. Never forget that.
That's my favorite thing. I love that.
It's not in the episode, but we watched an episode. We watched other people edit it together. There's a part where Carson joins, and he's like just sitting there with a double chin, and then Schlatt goes, "Hey, should I destroy another fucking keyboard?" Throws it behind him, and then Carson goes, "Hey, I like that. You want to play 8-ball?" And Schlatt goes, "Sure." And then she has a mental breakdown, leaves the room, and while she's like having a mental breakdown, Schlatt and Carson are just playing 8-ball. And that was like, you can't make this up, you know? It's great. I recommend
It's just the
everyone
kind of
watching.
things that happen you never
Yeah.
see. Like,
I want to fucking watch that so bad. You don't understand.
that's a recommendation from all of us, the H2O podcast. Go watch Lover Host.
Yeah, Austin really needs the views. No, he doesn't. But like Austin, you know, he does a good job. Go watch Lover Host or Raj Stiller. He used to be called the Raj Stiller and the Raj Stillerette, but he changed it because he was like, "Fuck this."
You know what's a really good YouTube channel?
Screw that.
What's a good YouTube channel?
Aiden's.
Oh yeah,
I love him.
go subscribe to Aiden, whatever the fuck name my lawyer gave him. It was like Aiden Mahinky Binky.
What?
Aiden.
Aiden Mahinky Binky the third or some shit.
Oh, Aiden, I want to talk to you about something. Alright. What do you think about MMM?
When is my ASMR? Listen, I know you want to know when my ASMR video is coming out, but
coming out
I don't
soon.
know if that can happen.
But
I don't have a good enough mic for an ASMR video, guys.
I have a
I'm
good
sorry.
enough mic for an ASMR video. You can come to my. We can be in the studio together, and we can chill.
In the Coom Cave.
We can,
We'll
yeah, you
hang
can
out
join
in
the
the
Coon
studio.
Cave, and we can make some fresh beets in the stew. And then we can
Hell
and then we
yeah.
can take a mirror selfie that just says "in the stew," and that's the caption.
In the stew.
In the stew.
Oh.
All right. Well, we're running short on
Okay.
time, so we're gonna have to end the episode soon. Thanks for watching. Any closing?
I love all of you.
Go subscribe to Andrew's channel. What is it? It's just Stigma. He changed it like 3 times. And then Aiden, go check out his Instagram, the 2 in the H2O podcast. I'll link that all down below, as well as the Jay Schlatt episode we
I
brought up
haven't
today.
checked them.
You don't check that account at all. Anyway, goodbye. And if you're the Bio Babies meme page, one last
Bye-bye.
word. You're still invited. All right, bye bye.